Now, Florida Senator Marco Rubio is with us. You know, Senator, there is the reluctance and resistance that I've been talking about all night among Republicans in many states to vote early or to vote by mail. That is not the case in your state of Florida. Republicans do vote early, they do vote by mail, and they are confident in the integrity of the process, and they have confidence in the results. What are Republicans in Florida doing different? Systematically, what are you doing differently down there that would give people more confidence so they wouldn't have this catch up of a couple of 100,000 votes every election day?
Yeah, well, first of all, Sean, you want to have a system that people know is going to have results within a reasonable period of time. I mean, these elections that go on for a week, and, you know, it seems like every time in these elections Republicans are up, and then 5 days later, you know you're going to lose. I mean, it always ends that way. So I think that undermines confidence. But I think it really ultimately begins from the campaigns with the approach, and that is a voter's a voter. And it doesn't matter if the voter voted by mail or voted early or voted on election day. A vote is a vote. And what you want to do is make sure that you're making it as easy as possible for people to vote. And as a candidate, for your supporters to vote. So look, some people in Florida have to vote by mail. It is a seasonal state. As you well know, there are a lot of people that don't live in Florida and don't come down to Florida until December. They're full-time residents, but they're not there that time of year. They have to vote by mail. There are others that you would like to see them vote early. Why do I want to see someone vote early? Because you don't want election day to be the day they got the flu, the day the car breaks down, the day that there's a storm, the day someone in their family gets sick and suddenly, you know, or they just forget to go. So you want to get that vote in as quickly as possible. They're actually, mechanically speaking, there is no difference in Florida between voting on election day or voting early. You're using the same paper ballot in the same process. The only difference is you don't have to go vote in your neighborhood precinct. You can vote at any of the early voting sites, and different counties have different number of days. You don't have to make a long line.
You have to provide a voter ID. What about signature verification?
Yeah, so on the absentee ballots, so the ballots that are mailed to people, there is a signature verification. And, you know, if those get in early and the signatures don't match, then they have time to correct that, because sometimes people get arthritis or whatever and their signature changes. If you're going to vote in person, your ID is provided at that site. You have to sign there, too, and it has to match the signature they have on file or the signature that's on your ID. But, look, I voted early. I voted early about 10 days before. It took me all of about 7 minutes to go in and get it done. There was no line, no long wait, and it worked. And so for us, the key is always to identify your supporters and get them in the box as early and as quickly as possible. You don't want to leave too many for Election Day, but there's still a lot of people that want to vote on Election Day. They like the whole process of going to vote on Election Day. You don't walk away from those people either.
Senator, you said, it was pretty amazing to me, and I thought it was very poignant, your point. You said we were able to count 7,500,000 votes in less than 5 hours, and it took a week and a half to count far less votes in the state of Arizona. There really is no excuse for that, is there?
No, and it gives off the perception, whether it's real or not, it gives off the perception that they want to see what the vote is, and then they decide, we're going to keep counting votes until we get enough votes to overtake you and win the election. That's how it seems to have played out in these other states. I'm not claiming that's what happened. I'm just telling you that's what it looks like, and it creates a lot of negativity around it. In Florida, all of those early votes and all of those mail votes are tabulated on Election Day. They're run through the machine. They're not announced. They're not released, but they've got them counted at 7:01 p.m. 7:01 p.m. Eastern Time, and then 7:01 p.m. Central Time in those counties in the Northwest Florida area. They hit send, and the computer immediately pops up, and you can see almost within the first 10 minutes after polls close what the early vote and what the mail vote is. And then the rest of the counting is the Election Day tabulation that's going on, and it's being fed in real time from the voting sites as they're run through the machine. Every time someone votes, the machine counts it and stores it, but doesn't release it. And the result is you're getting outcomes very quickly. By 11 p.m., you pretty much know the outcome of every race in Florida, unless it's like really, really close.
I hope every Republican governor is listening tonight, and every Republican legislature is listening tonight, because that ought to be the system that they adopt. You heard Newt Gingrich on earlier, and he was talking about the fact that Republicans would be better served if they went on social media platforms, and he did mention TikTok. You're calling for every American to get off of TikTok.
I am, and for two reasons. Number one is they're scooping up a bunch of data, okay? Your data's on your phone, all that data from your kids and anybody else, they're just scooping all of that up, and if the Chinese government asks for it, they have to turn it over. So they know a tremendous amount about Americans in general, about our society, about what messages work. It gives them a huge advantage, not to mention the individual data of people that they can acquire. But here's the second thing that we now know, and it's been documented. Chinese state-run media entities are posting things like making them look like news stories on TikTok. Okay, designing it to go after voters. They tried to interfere in this election. They attacked me. They attacked Governor Abbott and Senator Cruz in Texas. They did in a series of states. These Chinese run media outlets, and with really small disclaimers on the bottom, so you can't even tell it's being produced by them. It says CCTV, is producing these attack ads against Republicans on TikTok for free, and using the algorithms to target people that they know live in those states or care about these issues. They have weaponized that against us now in our election cycle. Forbes had a piece on that not too long ago. So I think TikTok should have been banned a long time ago. I wish President Trump would have done it. He was close to doing it. It needs to be done now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Senator. Anyway, we can learn a lot. It wasn't that long ago that Florida had their own voting problems with hanging, dimpled, pimpled, swinging chads. But you fixed the system. You had a problem, you addressed it. You had a problem in 2016, you addressed it again. And now I think that Florida has become a model for the country in terms of integrity in the voting system with full confidence in the results. So, Senator, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, as we